Pakistan's Finance Minister Muhammad Aurangzeb unveiled Pakistan Economic Survey, which highlights the country's economic performance for the outgoing fiscal year. The agricultural sector achieved unprecedented growth of 6.25%, which is the highest in 19 years, and it drove Pakistan's GDP growth to 2.38% in the fiscal year 2024, recovering from a contraction of 0.21% last year. The fiscal deficit was maintained at 3.7% of GDP, with a primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP. Total revenues grew by 41%, driven by non-tax revenue and improved tax collection. The State Bank of Pakistan kept a tight monetary policy with a 22% policy rate, helping to ease inflation to 26% from 28.2% last fiscal year. The current account deficit narrowed to $0.5 billion and gross foreign exchange reserves increased to $8 billion. Exports increased by 9.3% to $23 billion, while imports decreased by 8% to $38.8 billion, resulting in a trade deficit of 4.2% of GDP compared to 7.3% in the last fiscal year. The current account balance, 87.5%, recording a deficit of $0.5 billion during July to March period of the fiscal year 2024, against a deficit of $4.1 billion in the year-ago period. This led to current account deficit shrinking to 0.1% of the GDP compared to 1% during the same period last fiscal year. Federal Board of Revenue tax collection grew 30.6% to 7,361.9 billion rupees from July to April, against 5,637.9 billion rupees in the year-ago period. The tax target for the 12-month period set by the government was 9,415 billion rupees. The expenditure for the Public Sector Development Program registered an increase of 14.2% to 1,158.1 billion rupees in the 9-month period of July to March in the fiscal year 2024. This was against 1,014 billion rupees in the last year. The Pakistan Economic Survey provides an overview of the country's economic performance, highlighting areas of growth and challenges. The next stage of the process involves the finance minister presenting the budget for the next financial year to the National Assembly tomorrow. In ensuing weeks, the lawmakers will debate on the bill's provision and the budget will be made into law before the fiscal year ends.